Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the International Women of Blockchain. This is kind of bittersweet. It is our last Futuristic Friday. It will be the last Friday of the month. But you know what? We got a special treat for you. As you all know, Nicole is about to take it to a whole new level. So make sure that you join us and stay tuned. We got plenty in store for you today. You will be going through different type of metaverses and surfing and enjoying. We really appreciate you all joining us today. Once again, my name is Olienka Odenerin. I am the founder of Black Women Blockchain Council, also the creator of the International Women of Blockchain event. But I could not have done this without the wonderful moderators, the women that are ready to showcase a lot of what they're bringing to the table when it comes to this ecosystem that we're building. Now you know that within blockchain, there's a lot of women internationally across the globe who are interested, who are creating, building, and educating the community about this technology, about the possibilities, and making sure that we stay decentralized. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Nicole, our Futuristic Friday host. Come on up, Nicole. Good morning, Nicole.
Hey, y'all. Hey. I am excited today it's been a long time coming. Yinka.
Yes.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
It's Friday. I'm so excited about today because I know you're about to bring it. So yes, let's go.
We got lots planned for today. So we're hopping through the metaverse today. We have taken Fridays and introduced you to the metaverse. We've introduced you to the concepts of the metaverse, what that means to be in the metaverse. We've had some great conversations with the women of the metaverse, and really have seen some great and outstanding projects that are happening around the space, but we have not really taken an opportunity to dive in. So today, that's what we're doing. So we are going to be diving all the way into the metaverse. And so I am really excited. We have a jam-packed day today, so we're going to go ahead and get that rolling. And we've got our first guest. So let me please introduce some women who are very close to my heart, and that is Diana McCrae and Patricia Rivera. You guys are friends, you are business associates, and you are also women of domaining. And I am just proud to be able to present to you the women of domaining, because domaining is important in the space. We talk about building up our future. We talk about building out the metaverse. Well, you got to have a way to get there. And the way to do that right now is with a domain. So I am happy to bring to the stage Diana and Patricia, the ladies of domaining. Hey, ladies.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Nicole.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. I am really excited for this session. I am also a domainer. That's what we call ourselves, domain investors. And, we had a fantastic year last year. It was really, really extraordinary for many, many reasons. But I would not have had as much fun as I did if I had not had the friendship that I have on this stage right here, right now. So very happy to be a part of welcoming you and introducing kind of what it is that you're doing. So I'm going to allow you to do that. So tell us about you guys and how what are you doing in this space, and who are you?
So, hi, good morning. Thank you so much, Nicole, for that introduction. You are really a great friend and, someone that I look up to in terms of understanding even more and more about the metaverse. So, I just briefly want to say I'm Diana, and I am the D of that media group. And long story short, Patricia and I have been together for more than 10 years. We met sort of in a way that is not normal, actually. We were both co-authors on a book, and we both were co-authors on a book, and a third party that read the book decided that she and I needed to talk. And so this person called Patricia and Patricia lives in Denver. I live in New York. So that was kind of unusual. And so we got on the phone and we talked for 4 hours. And 4 hours later, we decided that we were going to do a radio show. And we started doing a radio show called Women Who Influence. And we interviewed over 100 amazing, awesome women who are doing amazing things. And through that experience, she and I decided to create that media group, which is Diana Patricia Really Media. And, for the past 10 years, we've done some amazing things together. I really treasure her as a business partner. So I don't know, Patricia, you want to add anything?
No, I just, again, Nicole, thank you so much for inviting us on. We are so excited. We support everything women, women, women. We are believers in just women excelling and doing amazing things. So thank you so much. But that's our story, how we've met.
That is awesome. And I love the partnership that you guys have developed. I have heard stories about it, and I've been privy to some of that over the course of the last year. So talk to me a little bit about domaining. How did you get into domain acquisition?
Ooh, so
Actually, wait. Let me back up.
Okay.
I want to keep everybody in the loop. So first start with, what is a domain? What are we talking about when we talk about domains?
Domains are the web address. Just think of your own street address, right? In order to find any location in this world, you need a street address. Well, the web address is how you find any website, right, on the internet. So actually, Facebook.com, Google, all the people that we're used to, those are all domains. So, we have our domain, that media group. And if you're in business online, or if you want to establish anything, a side hustle, or any kind of anything, any kind of website, you need a domain. Yeah, that's your gateway to the internet.
That's the highway. Yep, that's it, the gateway.
The
Mhm.
gateway to the internet. I love it. All right. So, how did you guys get into domain acquisition?
It's so funny because when Diana and I met, Diana used to talk about, she knows I'm in real estate and I love real estate. So we were trying to figure out the name for our business. She said, we need to purchase a domain. She said, domain buying is just like buying real estate. So we ended up purchasing our name for our business. Next thing you know, we just started buying names, tons of names since when, Diana, 2010? Yeah, 13, something like that. And I hate to say 900 domains later, we are domain investors.
That is awesome. It's addictive for
Oh my
sure.
God, so addictive. Yeah.
And the thing about Patricia and I, though, is that she and I are both creative and visionaries. So I wish we had taped some of our conversations, because when she and I get on the phone, she's in Denver, I'm in New York. The energy is powerful between me and her. But we come up with all these different ideas for brands, for domain names. And that's how we start buying them, because she'll say, Diana, what do you think about this? And I'll say, that's awesome, buy it, and vice versa. So I just wanted to add that. Like we come up with really fantastic names for brands that we think are good for brands. So yeah.
Absolutely.
That is really cool. And you mentioned something that is critical about this space. So you mentioned that you guys are not in the same vicinity. You have become business partners and have had this lasting friendship and partnership over the years virtually. So, as we're heading into the metaverse, that is exactly what everybody's going to be doing, is developing these relationships across the world, right? So that is really cool. We've got a living example of it right here, and how that can actually take place and be successful. So the other thing you mentioned, and you've kind of said this a couple times, is women. This conference is all about women and celebrating women. So, what does it take to be a woman in domaining?
Ooh.
Mm.
So women in domaining, it's not easy because it's a very male dominated business. When you go into some of the platforms on Clubhouse, it's all men and they want to talk over you. They don't think that what you have to give, the information, is valuable. I feel no
Mhm.
different than being in a business, because I do a lot of commercial in, funding also. Same thing, male dominated business where men, until you can prove or until you sell a domain, they think that you matter. They don't think you matter.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And Nicole, from being in some of these rooms.
I
Mhm.
do.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely have felt that.
And in the tech space, the space that you're
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's prevalent, and it's ironic that throughout the conference we've heard that consistent theme, regardless of what industry it's in.
Mhm.
We've had folks who are professional sports women come through, and they experience the same thing. We've had artists experience the same thing. We've heard statistics about how women's NFTs or women-led projects are not picked up as readily and are not funded as readily. We heard that yesterday or sometime this week. And it's real, and these are not scripted events. Like, people don't come to the stage with that as what they're leading with. It's just their story, it's their experience. And so I definitely resonate with that 100%.
Right. Yeah.
um but we're successful in this space, and so I'm really excited about that piece. We have women. Can you talk a little bit about Ladies of Domaining?
So we created Ladies of Domaining. Same reason I think you created Women of Blockchain.
Mm.
Because the space is so full of men, we thought women think differently, women move differently, and we came up with Ladies of Domaining because we wanted to give our perspective. When you go to some of these domain conferences, it's all about the men, 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 men. And I don't know if I can say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's all about white men,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
just like commercial real estate. And we need to diversify it. We need for people to see that there's other people in the space besides them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I also think that, Patricia and I's mission is to really help women, build wealth, right? Especially in the digital space. And in order to do that, they need to understand the importance of domaining, investing, how to build a portfolio, on the web and also not in the web, just as in real estate, right? So, there's so many ways, but one of the things is knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And what we find is that even at the name cons and all this, I was looking for people that look like me and her. I'm looking like, and even as speakers, and they're not there, right? And so we decided, since we've been doing this as almost like I won't say a hobby, but because we enjoy doing it, we enjoy the brainstorming of finding, creating these domain names. We decided that we wanted to create a space, especially for women in the future. Now is the time, right, to build your future. If you want to leave a legacy or generational wealth, which Patricia and I talk about all the time, then you need to get into the space and understand, how does it work?
Right.
Right. How does domaining work? How does the metaverse work? How is 3.0 going to work? And so we want to be the person, the bridge between, women that don't quite understand and those, if we can educate them and help them through coaching, consulting, and creating courses, that's what we want to do. So we really want to bring more women to this space of domaining.
And you know what's so funny also, if I can add, we love, most of our favorite domains are women name domains, women domains. So like
Talk about that.
we just sold a domain called Women Who Heal.
Ah!
And very cool story. A domain broker from GoDaddy came to us and said that somebody was interested in purchasing our domain. And so he didn't say if it was a male or a woman, but we knew it was a woman by the name. He told us what she wanted, what she offered us. We went back and forth maybe 2 times because I don't like to go through the back and forth. And I said, I really wanted to help another woman in this space. And when he told her exactly what we said, she gave us what we wanted because it was a woman helping another woman. And that was important to her and important to us. So
Congratulations.
Thank you. Some of our favorite domain names are women domain names.
Let's talk about that because there's a lot of power in a name, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have brandable domains, we have names that are kind of funky. What are some things that people should do when they are trying to name their address or trying to come up with that perfect address?
Pick something that basically lets people know who you are and what you're about. There's a thing where people say the shorter names, the better. But we're finding that long names are selling too.
Mm-hmm.
A female just sold real estate cryptocurrency.com for $6,000. That's a long name, but somebody wanted it. We sold womenwhoheal.com. I think that's kind of short. A woman wanted it. So I think for your own personal domain name, it has to be specific to what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So we always hear, it's got to be short. It's got to be a .com.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be, less. So two words is better than 3. You just sold a 3-word domain. The rules don't seem to be applying as much as they used to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nope.
what are some of your kind of more quirky domains that don't necessarily sit within that range? .coms and .ios. What are you extending into any of the .xyzs or the .zils or anything like that?
We pretty much have a lot of them.
Yeah,
we have .ios, .xyz, .lives, .real estate, .homes, just a lot of them.
Yeah. .clubs. I think to Patricia's point, I was looking at some of the sales, for the month of March, and cybersecurityjobs.com, which is actually 3 words, sold for $205,000. To her point, it's really what you like. Because it's up to the buyer, like what resonates with you. Yes, you should have some domains that are keyword rich. But I think at the bottom line, there's no set formula what we're seeing. Like, after being in this business for a while, we're looking at like the trends, right? And there's no set one. There's some weird names that sold. I mean, we have a great, I think, I love our portfolio, of names. I mean, Patricia is really, we both are, but she's really exceptional when it comes to keen insight onto picking names. And like, she'll say, Diana, how about this? And I'd be like, aha, morning business call. Okay, should I get this? Should I not get this? No, but that sounds good. We particularly like the .xyzs, that's a new one. And that's trending for blockchain, especially. Some of the bigger companies are going towards like Square, went to block.xyz. And Google is abc.xyz. And I even read yesterday that Mark Zuckerberg is doing the hug.xyz. So XYZs are really in, don't ask me, I don't, but the XYZs are really popular with the metaverse, NFTs, right? Blockchain, matcha.xyz, I think does crypto trading. So, you see this trend, especially 2022 towards that, .xyz. We have quite a few. We also have quite a few metas.
Wait, 1 second. Let's talk a little bit about 2021, because what happened with the rise of the metaverse in 2021? What was going on in our domain space? Can you guys talk a little bit about that? That whole, I think, fourth quarter, a little bit of the third quarter, but really that fourth quarter. What happened when the world kind of woke up to this idea of the metaverse?
People went crazy and started buying meta names.
That's right. That's us.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. So tell people what that is. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and bring up your site so that people can see kind of what your portfolio has to offer.
Okay, so a typical day with I and Patricia. Patricia, is if she's on Clubhouse or doing a social media thing, she'll see, and this is maybe 6 months ago, the metaverse is coming, the metaverse, this and that. So what we do is when we hear these words, we step up and we start buying domains with, like, we have some good names like Tour the Metaverse, we have Pets Metaverse, animals, you name them, different metaverse names, right? And then we have, meta gowns, meta clowns. Meta clowns is one of Patricia's, she likes that one. I think that's hysterical, but you never know what's going to be in that space. We have, Meta Africa. We have quite a few great.
Wait, go back. You have Meta Africa. I love the fact that sisters have Meta Africa. That's awesome. Yes. So all these meta names, you're right. Meta went nuts last year. Everybody was asking about meta this, meta that. You have metablack.io. I love that. There are metaassets.xyz. Y'all are bad. Like, these are really great names out here. Congratulations on your portfolio.
And this is just a portion of it.
Yeah, that is amazing. And so talk about a little bit, like, how easy is it for people to get involved in domaining? Is it difficult? Is there a steep curve? What do they need to know?
Just figure out a name that you want to buy. There's so many registries, and then go to that registry and purchase it. Most of our domains were hand registered on GoDaddy, but there are other domain sites that are cheaper. I prefer, and Diana prefers, to keep our portfolio in one specific area so we don't get confused when something's due and lose it by mistake. So they have a whole bunch of different names of platforms where you can purchase domain names.
I like Namecheap. Namecheap is my go-to person. I find that their domains are a little cheaper, and I've been buying from Namecheap for a long time, so I feel very comfortable with them. But there's domain.com. There's a few out there. You can Bluehost, HostGator, a lot of the hosting companies. I think even Shopify is selling domains at this point.
Everybody.
Right. Everyone's getting into this domain space. And, I just want to add, because I see a question on the side, can you rent out domains? Yes, you can. And rent domains. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so, it can be in that way, you can have some recurring monthly income from this, where it's not just a surprise, right? Like, oh, somebody decided to buy a domain today. You know that somebody's going to be making that payment continuously. And Dan.com is actually one of those sites that does allow you to do that. So, yes, there are so many different ways you can kind of leverage it.
I wanted to say, I don't mind saying what we sold the Women Who Heal for.
Okay.
Purchased that in 16, paid maybe $10 for it, renewed it till now, and we sold it for $4,500.
Hey, so see, like that return on investment, you can't even match that anywhere.
No.
Maybe in virtual real estate, maybe in NFTs, but not really any other traditional space. Kind of business doesn't really have that opportunity, and none of that is financial advice at any point in time. So definitely want to just thank you guys for coming in today to tell us all about your domains. What would you tell women as they are out here getting ready to become domainers or thinking about their next acquisition or naming their business and where they're going to park? Yep, we are on a tight schedule today, but we do have a couple of questions. So, someone asked, how exactly does domaining connect to the metaverse? And so we started with that question, actually. And that is because the metaverse is being built out. The metaverse is a place where we are just now kind of opening up the doors to it. So you will have your virtual real estate. You will have that plot of land that you have. You'll have your NFT gallery, maybe on OpenSea. You will also have your NFT art gallery. As you can see, we have a ton of different spaces that we're visiting today, and those spaces are actually places where I could have taken my actual domain and parked it there with a redirect, so that it would be easier for you to access than the rather difficult link that is created or generated. So it acts as a means of ease for people. So how do you feel about domains that are not controlled by ICANN? So we're talking about Web 3.0 spaces, and domains. So I don't know if you guys have an opinion on that. I certainly do. But ICANN is, for anyone who does not understand what that is, ICANN is the governing body for traditional domains. They're the central repository for all domain names, regardless of where you purchase it from, those .coms, those .ios, those all of kind of the traditional extensions, all 1,600 of them are, and plus are manned by ICANN. They're governed by ICANN. So in this space, though, we have in Web 3.0, we have different options. And so we have someone coming to talk to us about that next week. So you probably want to stay tapped in for that conversation.
Right.
But yeah, if you guys wanted to add anything else about that, in closing for the question, what should women know about becoming women in domaining or ladies of domaining as they're moving forward, and how can they connect with you?
We have a clubhouse, Ladies of Domaining. You can join that. We're gonna, which is a space where we're gonna help women understand how to be in the space, which so they can join that. Diana, anything else?
Also, we'll probably create a beginner's class. As it's funny when I talk to people, sometimes I don't even know what a domain is, and I'm explaining to them, well, okay, this is a domain. So I think there's a lot of space, room to educate people a little bit more. As far as getting into the space, I just say jump in. If you have an idea for a domain, first thing is, if you're going to do it now, because like Patricia said, the one word domains are going very quickly. Like even when we look up on Namecheap or GoDaddy, any of those places, the one names are gone. So, if you get a good name that is brandable, that you think is brandable, keyword rich, just buy it. I need know. You just never know what people are going to buy right now. Okay. We have a few cannabis domains, we have domains in every area, techie, woman, and so just do your thing. I think the power of domaining is that you can be very creative and you can be strategic as well.
Yes. And Women of Blockchain is a wonderful name. Wonderful
Yes.
name. Mm-hmm. Very powerful.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So,
and I won't say where that came from. We will talk about that later. It is an outstanding domain.
And your meta mind shift.
Huh?
And your meta mind shift.
Hey,
Yeah,
meta mind shift. Yes, have a meta mind shift. So if women want to get in touch with you once again, where are they going to go to?
They can go also to our email is media@datmediagroup.com.
And if they want AP, Diana, and Patricia.
Exactly. And if they want to look at our portfolio, it's ladiesofdomaining.xyz. It'll take them right there. And then if they have, we have a lot more than on there. We have close to 1,000, totally. But if you're interested in learning more, just get in contact with us either way. Like Patricia said in Clubhouse, we're there to help for sure.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so we're going to ask that you guys put that information for us in the Discord. And I do want to say this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your knowledge with us. We look forward to talking with you as we, kind of progress with this conference and in the Discord for sure. So thank you both.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
No, wonderful host. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So now you know how to acquire a domain name for yourself, and the power of a good domain cannot be underestimated. Definitely, just try to get something that isn't necessarily a weird name. Try to get something that people are going to remember, or that is catchy or memorable. So I'm gonna just say the same thing 3 times. So we are going to go to a really quick. We're going to go to a really quick break, and by really quick I mean like 30 seconds, 1 minute, and we'll be right back with Futuristic Fridays in the Metaverse. This is Nicole, and my voice is resting. Thank you. Okay, well, we're back. Thank you for joining us once again. So we just got done talking about the metaverse and building out the metaverse with a powerful domain name. Domains are something that kind of are at the forefront of every type of revolution when it comes to the internet. It has to be built out. So when last year hit, we definitely spent some time diving all the way in the meta and metaverse and verse and MVRS rabbit hole, and that rabbit hole was deep, and people spent a whole lot of money and had a whole lot of fun, because we also played games when it comes to domains and kind of what names can you come up with. We had a really good time last year, but this year it's all about the individual and the business. So think about your business, think about kind of what you're doing in this space and how you're pivoting, because the whole world is taking a shift. And if you are doing that meta mind shift, then you will want a good domain as well to go along with it. So definitely appreciate the ladies of domaining for coming through. Right now, we are going to talk fashion. So we were planning to go into Decentraland, and Decentraland is kind of hefty right now. There's a lot of traffic going in there because it is Metaverse Fashion Week in Decentraland. And so Decentraland is celebrating, and they have several zones that are set up for people to actually take part in the metaverse and in fashion. Fashion goes hand in hand when it comes to the metaverse. Why? Well, because you have an avatar, and that avatar needs to look good. It is really important that your avatar look good as you are heading into the metaverse. So that is one thing that you really want to make sure actually happens. And a lot of the new things that we're seeing are coming from the larger brand names coming into the space. You've seen Nike, Adidas, Dolce & Gabbana. You've seen Vogue has spaces here. Like, there are lots of different ways that people are bringing themselves into metaverse type spaces, as well as making things that are called wearables. So it is a wearable because your avatar can wear it. And so that is something that gamers are very, very, very familiar with, because our avatars or our in-game characters have had gear for a very long time. So we've had things like outfitters and armor and skins that our avatars don, and we have paid for dearly over the years and acquired kind of the best in fashion for our avatars in gaming space. And now that same kind of thing is happening in the metaverse. So your avatar is getting dressed on a daily basis. You don't want to be seen wearing the same thing twice. And so this is a business for people. So if you are out here and you're somebody who loves fashion, this is definitely a place for you in the metaverse. I'm going to show you, because I can't actually get in there right now. It is a little too hefty for my computer this day. But I'm going to show you, I want us to kind of walk through what's been set up as far as the Decentraland Metaverse Fashion Week website. So we have given you the link if you're watching. It is there. You may be able to access it on your side of the house, but I cannot access it on mine. So that is mvfw.org. That's a great domain. And you're going to want to go there. And Metaverse Fashion Week is happening the 23rd through the 27th. So right now, we are in the thick of things, and there are plenty of events. I was in there last night getting prepared for today. There are lots of different spaces where you can go to, lots of different experiences that you can have. And as I scroll down this page, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The countdown has ended and we are live. There are catwalks. So yesterday I actually saw I was in the space and actually saw avatars walking down the catwalk, and they were donned in their little skins from their designers, and it looked just like as if you were in a really cool fashion show. And so, we're there in our regular Decentraland gear, and we are looking at these beautiful fashions walking up and down the catwalk, and they literally were posing and doing spins and circles and jumping up in the air. Like, you could see everything. And if you are able to right now, if you're able to get in, then you can actually see that today. So click that link, try to go in there if you can. You'll see some of the really cool things as I scroll down the page here. Right here on the left-hand side of my screen, you will see a wedding dress. Now, in the metaverse, you are not required to conform to social norms. So you can make that look however you want to. You can be really, really creative and do some things that might not have been acceptable for your wedding dress in the traditional space. But in the metaverse, anything can happen. So make that happen. Over on the right-hand side, we see something that is very similar to the Michael Jackson Thriller jacket. It is a rendition, and hats, Sunday church hats. Hats are a thing even in the metaverse. So, you get to wear different hair underneath your hat. You can wear any kind of, updo or downdo, whatever you want to do to your hair, as long as that space actually has it, you will be able to do that. Once you're scrolling down, you're actually going to see the different zones. You can actually click up on top for the different zones on the upper right-hand side of the screen. But as you're going down, you can see there's Meta Tokyo, there's Dragon City, Independence Lane, Enter the Metaverse with Cash Lab Space, the Luxury Zone, the Cold Cliff Catwalk, and there's tons and tons more. Again, Dolce & Gabbana are there. Rarible has a space. And so there's lots of people out here who are already doing this. And I'm not talking about big brands. Big brands are here. But it is also important that you know that as an individual, you have the same opportunity to come here and make this space a place for you. I'm going to quickly shoot over to another screen here and show you some pictures from the actual event itself. And there we go. And we'll quickly go through these because, man, we got a lot of stuff to do today, and I want to get into space I can get into. So this is an article from WWD.com, and you can see as I scroll through, Selfridges, which is a huge fashion house, or was a huge fashion house out in the EU. Over in Europe, Harry Selfridge, there was a show on PBS not too long ago that highlighted his contributions to fashion and the world. And they have done a rendition of Selfridges here in Decentraland. So you can actually see that. It is very cool. You can go there and just walk around. So you're able to do that. And that's something that's really, really cool on the inside. Tennis shoes are certainly a thing in the metaverse. Even though you don't have legs, you have tennis shoes. So in some spaces where your avatars do have legs created, your tennis shoes are certainly something that you will want. The events calendar is here. Inside of Dolce & Gabbana, like you can see, just kind of the luxury that is seeped in to each of these spaces, just like if you were going into one of the actual stores, one of their more elite and premium stores. Definitely tap in because it's fun and it doesn't cost you anything to actually be in these spaces. You can see different designs for not only the building, everything is chic. And looks like it's dipped in a whole lot of money, and you can walk around and do that. If you like that sort of thing in real life, the metaverse is not different. You can do that here as well. Estee Lauder has their skid creams and things out here. Forever 21 has a mega store there as well. So if you like things like this, then definitely tap in because the metaverse is popping. So I want to really quickly check and see if there's any questions about this. And we're going to move on because we've got a whole lot of stuff to do today. And next up, we are going to take a dive into another space. And I'm actually going to go over to a break really quick. And then, we're going to jump into spatial. So give me a minute. I have to get on my VR headset, and then we will jump all the way in. And if you have spatial, if you have access to a computer, you can join me. Go ahead and get in there now. And you can walk around the art gallery with us. We're going to go in the order that's listed, and we will post those links into chat. You can also find the plan for the day in the Metaverse channel in Discord. So we will be right back in about 1 minute. Thank you. All right, and we are back. Welcome back. You are looking at my Oculus headset. You can see me in the lower left-hand corner there. I am in headset right now. We're going to jump into spaces. And you can find, spatial. So you can jump into spatial by downloading it on your headset. If you have Oculus, then you can download it on your Oculus headset. If you have other headsets, it should be available there as well. But you can also join us by going in your browser to the link that will be posted there. So like I said, if you want to follow along, there's a Discord channel and you'll be able to actually come in there. I want to just really quickly, she's going to hate me for doing this, but Yinka, are you busy? Do you want to come up and kind of give your reactions as we're going through this space since I can't see?
Sure.
Oh, wait, Tim, hold up. Are you joining us? Because I'm going to bring Cam up too. I'm going to bring you up, Cam.
Your headgear on.
Yeah, so we got
Hold
two
on.
of us in headset. What's up, girl? All right. So
If this isn't intimidation, I don't know what is.
yes, you're sandwiched in. Okay. So
I was not quite ready.
okay.
But okay.
We're gonna go into spatial and we're gonna jump in there. And so you can find it on your VR headset if you have one. And you will be able to jump in. And when you join, if you've already created a character, then you will see that there. I have already created one, and apparently I've created two, but I'm going to click this one because I think this is the right one. I'm hoping. It might not be. I might need to create the other one. Uh-oh. Hang on. So I made myself a birthday cake last night, and so that is what's there. And yep, I need to go to the other one. Oh man. Okay. You know what? We're gonna explore and see if I can find it.
So, Nicole, which spatial one are we going to first?
We were gonna go to the IWB one, but I'm not seeing it, and now I have to find. I have to go to the other account. So give me a second. So what happened is last night I realized I have two accounts on Spatial and I linked them up and I thought we were good, but apparently I'm not. So give me just a second.
So
Yeah,
while
I'm
you
not going to go through the parent. We're going to go to swoops because I can't show the one I want to. We'll show that on the browser, I guess.
okay, so I'll post Swoop's address into the chat.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go to Swoops. So when you're in here, you can find the OpenSea Gallery by Swoops, and then just click it. It should be right here on the homepage. So we're gonna go there, and as soon as you come in, you can see we're in an art gallery, and this art looks fantastic. I am muted in this space, so you're hearing me over the conference, and everybody else who's in here is not hearing me. So you can create one of these yourself. And it's important for people to know that you have the option to do stuff like this to highlight your NFT art galleries. Not all of these are, well, these are probably all NFTs, but your art does not have to be an NFT in order for it to be in this space. But Spatial does allow you to link up your MetaMask wallet so that if you have NFTs, you can display them. And it's really easy to do that. This is Swoops, and so she is our guest curator. Some of this artwork here is absolutely fantastic as I move through this.
That's a long necky lady by Chantel.
Look at this long necky sister. So, they allowed derivatives. So we've got folks who are joining. So, come in and come hang out with us because you can move around this space on your browser. You're going to use your left and right keys. You're also going to be able to utilize WASD, which if you're a gamer, you know.
Hey, Siri.
That's a Meta Knight.
Yes, y'all. Meta Knights are on display. So this is Meta Knights and absolutely gorgeous, beautiful Meta Knights and emissaries that are available out on OpenSea as well and on the Meta Knights website. And someone can post that into the chat as well. That would be great. But yeah, so your patrons or your community will be able to come celebrate you in your own gallery. So this gallery looks a little different from mine, but I really want to be able to show that gallery. So I'm going to tinker with this just a little bit more so that we can get to the point where I can do that. I'm going to go ahead and quit and then come back because we did something special for us and I want us to be able to see that. So hoping to get back to that screen. Otherwise, I'll just go on the browser and I'll take my headset off and that's fine too. But yeah, so it took, I would say less than an hour to create a space where we were able to enjoy and create our own things here. There we go. So now we're going to go into the IWB Sidewalk Gallery and I'm going to show you around. So again, this is one that I created last night. These are actual NFTs. So our moderators did get or will be getting, and some of them did get their certified mod squad NFT. And there's a couple different flavors of that. And not only can you post pictures, whether it's a JPEG or a PNG, you are able to also, and look at that, that is up for auction or will be up for auction at the end of today's session. So this is the one that I did. This is the rendition of International Women of Blockchain. And doesn't it look fantastic up there? That is my own artwork. Thank you. And then you can put images, so GIFs and MP4s up as well. So it allows for movement. This is another one of my pieces. This is something that I did for Curious Anarchist, and his birthday was a couple days before mine. I've got a broken image here, and I won't bother to fix that this very moment. But this is also a piece of land I own, so I felt like highlighting that. You can go and kind of really check out, kind of how my mind works. A lot of these, so the shamrocks that you are seeing is a part of my collection. I'll be talking about that next week, but it is in honor of endometriosis. And each she shamrock is named and represents a woman who is out here struggling with endometriosis. And so we've talked about that a couple times during the conference, but I will be speaking about that at some point next week. So tap in for that as well. Really quickly, I want to take you down the moderator hall and give my moderators their due. This is moderator hall. So these will look familiar. If you are in the Discord, you've seen these before. If you're not, you may have seen them on well, you probably have not seen these at all. But these are in Discord, and these are, kind of just to capture and celebrate all of the women who have been a part of the mod squad. So this is not the committee cards, but the mod squad specifically. And these are my women. These are my ladies who have come through and, we've survived challenges on production and no shows and fill-ins and banter and just talk and good girl talk. So I appreciate all of you guys. And this is that whole squad right there. And this was our very first Women of Blockchain. The very first flyer that went up that I did, I think. So that was that one. We have some more, and what did I not show? Oh, I didn't go to the other side. So we're going to jump over there really quickly and just kind of show you. That one on the end is called Black Joy. This one, the second one, is one of mine so the one on the end is one I own. That was actually a gift from some folks on Clubhouse. This one is one that I did. Again, another advertisement that we did for, or this one's for the Mod Squad, not an advertisement, sorry. And then I do have my club, Blackverse. We did poets instead of POAPs. And so this was one of the first ones that we did for that. This is on the very end here. This is one of my NFTs for Metaversable. That is my rendition of it. So you can see, you can do some really cool things with the things that are available to you. So this is one instance of a gallery. There are many instances of galleries. Y'all always hear me say my voice is resting, because it is. That is my slogan. That is my little line that I live by in and throughout Clubhouse. So you'll hear me say that here on the conference sometimes too. But there's a lot of different things that you can do with NFTs. I am not an artist, so I choose GAN art as my means of creation. And I'll talk a lot about that next week. But I wanted to today show you how you could use spatial to create an art gallery to display your work. Display is half the battle. Give people something to experience, and they will thank you for it. So I'm open to any questions that might be out there, and I think we are right at time. So, hey, Big Gallery. Is that you, Tim?
No, that's David.
Oh, hey, David. Hey. Awesome. So David is a friend, and yes, thank you for being here. Oh, that's cool. All right. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and shut off my headset really quickly, and then we're gonna jump out and see where we are with the rest of the day. All right. So now that that's gone, so what did you guys think of the spatial gallery?
I thought it was cool. Like I was mesmerized by the fact that we can see artworks that we've created, right, in this gallery, and it actually gives it a good showing, visual, just to see it on a wall, and to walk around and be able to experience that. So I actually I like spatial, especially since I've been through like the initial phases with you and changing the avatar and stuff like that. I think they come close, really close to how we want the metaverse to look like.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, we have a couple more minutes, and I am actually going to move up the schedule just a little bit because I want to spend some time in this next space and enjoy it, and I need to get set up. So we're going to go to a brief intermission. When you come back, we will have a surprise on screen, and that'll be fun. And I do ask Tam, even Charmaine, if you want to come up early, that's cool. But we have some things that we are going to do, and we'll be back. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and go to an intermission.
Everyone, Munib here. Today is a really special day in the history of this project. Stacks 2.0 is going live today.
This was a year ago. So much has happened since then. So, let's take a trip down memory lane.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Stacker Chat. The city of Miami voted this week to actually utilize their Miami Coin proceeds, which is over $4.5 million.
Try to absorb like everything that has happened over the last year or so. Which, by the way, this year I probably would have said it on some other venue as well. I think when I really look back, there's so much to be grateful about. Like it's probably like one of the best years for this ecosystem. I don't think I would have asked for anything more from this year.
Oh, wow. Where's the co? Nicole, you're different. Is that you? Wow. I'm loving the facial. I'm loving the eyes. Of course, it has to be green. Wow, this is really cool.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I love it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, so cool.
Wow, this is really cool. Hey! Oh, you can't hear? We can hear you. Oh, I'm over here saying, oh, you can't hear.
Hold on, I'll tell her.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. We can hear you. But this
She's
is
probably in her headset, so she can't even see me telling her, but
yeah. Wow. I can hear her.
oh, she's looking at her screen, so she will be able to see us. Look at that.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, you can hear me. Okay, good. Well, I'm just going to talk through this because I can't hear a word you're saying. So, welcome to Spatial. I have some lag going on here, but I am really excited to show you guys this. This is the future of work. So we talk about the metaverse, and we talk about these different things that we're doing in the space, but it's really hard for people to understand unless you can actually see it. So when you are actually seeing it, it is real. This is our production studio behind the scenes. And I'm just going to pan around really quickly so that you can see what it is that I'm talking about. So I am in a virtual space. And in this virtual space, I have my workstation. So in this workstation, I have monitors set up, and those monitors are all around me. I'm immersed in a virtual space, and you can see that because when I look up, I'm in that space. When I look down, I am in that space. And you're able to actually see these things in reality. So this is my computer monitor. So I'm seeing monitor number one here, and then I'm also seeing monitor number one or two here. And so that's my setup. So when I am backstage and I'm doing production, like that's what see. So I am also streaming this to Oculus, so that's why you're kind of seeing that tunnel there. But I want to show you guys that not only can you be in these cool little low poly spaces, things that you may be used to from places like Altspace, but you're also able to switch up your environment a little bit and take things to a whole nother level. So I'm going to show you what that level looks like. Give it a second to render. So now we are in the middle of space. And so people often ask me, like, am I seriously talking about being in the middle of space all the time? Absolutely 100% yes. When I say that I like being in the middle of space, that's literally what I mean. Wow. Look at this. What if you could work anywhere you wanted to. So it doesn't have to be space. You could be in Dubai. You could be in Paris. I am right now sitting on a space station. And you can see that because I'm in the captain's chair. Over there, something that looks like a moon or a sun. And we have all these really cool little environmental things, like my little meteors that are out here floating around. Like, I'm in this space, but I can also work here. And so that's what's essential and cool about this, is that we are moving to a place where you're not going to be bound by the four walls that you are next to every single day, or that you sit inside of every single day. So I'm sorry if this is a little choppy. It looks like it might be choppy on my side, so sorry about that. What I do want to show you is that, like, this is my screen. So like I said, this is literally my screen. I can have this as curved or as flat as I want to. And guess who didn't have to pay to get a curved screen? Me, because I got mine in the metaverse, and it's really not. I can have a flat screen, but not only that, I can take this screen and make it as big or small as I want to. That is the power of these 3D virtual spaces. You can elongate them, you can move them out further and make them even bigger. I can do whatever I want to in these spaces, and it's really cool all at the same time. So, think bigger than where we are right now. It is essential that you get out of kind of the four walls that you sit in every single day, and realize that the metaverse has a whole lot to offer us. I do actually have 3 screens up. This is my desktop. I can actually create as many desktops as I want to, up to 5. So not as many as I want to, but up to 5. There we go. Not sure. Okay. Are you still hearing me? Shake your heads. No, I think they stopped hearing me. Okay, did you guys stop hearing me? Uh-oh. We lost the feed. Oh no. Okay. Let's go to environment. I don't know, maybe you can still hear me. If you can still hear me, then I'm going to go to a different view. I'm going to go hang out in a conference room. And you're seeing the conference room. Are you hearing me? Shake your heads. Okay, cool. Awesome. So now I'm in this conference room. And I can make myself the focal point. Oops, what am I trying to do? Oh, there we go. It's not loading. Come on. Yeah, something happened. It popped me out of. There we go. So I can move seats. And have a different view. I can bring up my screens. I can be sitting in here with my coworkers or my board members, or, if you're releasing a book, you can be in an environment like this. We're going to switch environments really quickly, and then I'm going to show you one last thing. While I do like the Starship, I want to show you guys Meditation is very big in the metaverse. And so you get these spaces that people are creating for peace. And they just want to have something serene where they can maybe work, but also just have the ability to just kind of be and close everything out and just be calm and still. And so they create places like this that are really cool and have impossibly attainable settings in the real world. So that's what the metaverse is all about. It's not about replacing your reality. It's about supplementing it. The other really cool thing about this particular product, which is called Immersed, is that you can have the concept of private and public spaces. So I right now can invite up to 4 people to join me, or I can go into a public space and enjoy that with other people who are there. So if you've downloaded Immersed because you got the email this morning, we're going to go into the public. So go to public and then go into the glass house. And you can join me here. So again, you can pan around. I'm in the mountains, enjoying some snow. I don't know that that's what I want, but some days you do. I'm from Colorado, so kind of having that is nice when I can't get home. So think about what it is that you do and what it is that you want to do and how you can make the metaverse work for you. This is an option, but working in these spaces is a real thing. So you can also pull up the whiteboard, and you can also use that to help you kind of whiteboard things. There's a lot of different programs that have already been developed that help you to, kind of, maybe you want to, this is awful because like I said, y'all want to know why I say I'm not an artist. This is why. I'm not. But, a lot of this is not just me. This is VR also. So anyway, there, I've got 4 squares and diamond there. Woohoo! All right, so I'm not sure if you're probably not seeing my webcam anymore. But yeah, so that is what we've got going on in Immersed. Immersed puts you in the scene and lets you enjoy that scene. There's also the ability to enable the pass-through. And so I don't know what this is going to look like when I show it to you, but I'm going to show you really quick. So my pass-through will show you my home. So when I turn that on, like you see kind of like the wall that I'm looking at from my office. And you can do that, and it's kind of enabling AR and VR to work together. So that pass-through is really an MR experience because you're seeing your reality with the overlay of something augmented on there. So that's that virtual reality or that augmented reality piece, which is AR. So you can have friends. I've got friends. You can walk through public spaces. You can have your private space. You can adjust your computer information and really make your space available in these spaces. And so that's what's really cool about something like Immersed. All right, so I'm going to jump out of headset, and I actually have to leave the room and come back in my regular avatar. So I'll be right back. Yinka and Tam, if you guys want to talk for just a second, I'll be right back. And I think we need to do an intermission, but I'll be right back.
Wow. I have to say that is an experience that was actually pretty good, cool. To come in as an avatar, and a good-looking avatar, right? Because that's the challenges of a lot of these metaverses that are out there, both decentralized and centralized. You're always trying to find an avatar that matches our ethnicity, right?
Right.
It's always, the default is white centric, but then, that you can add color, but then you can still tell it just doesn't fully represent.
Yeah, it doesn't quite translate. Yeah, absolutely. But this is so cool, like with the metaverse. This is my favorite part of like of like Futuristic Fridays is being able to get in the metaverse and see all the cool things. Like I absolutely love it. But you're right. And not only are you able to find, kind of things that that look like you like now, but also things that might resonate with your spirit, like or resonate with like your thoughts. And so it's super cool. I've met like dragons and like all kinds of creatures in the metaverse, and so it's definitely, like I said, it's for everyone. This space for everyone. Hey, Nicole.
Yeah.
What'd you
I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's a place that we can definitely explore. And I like the fact that I believe is it browser based, or do you have to download something when you set up?
So for that one, you do have to do some connections. So it's similar to, so there's a couple different steps you have to do. So first you have to install it on your Oculus or your headset, whatever headset that may be. And then they do have a little app that goes onto your device. So your desktop or your, I guess maybe like a tablet might be able to render it as well. But then it uses that to make that connection to your actual, so like the way that you saw my monitors, that's how that was happening, is because there was an app on my desktop that allowed it to see what I have out there. And so, I'm able to actually have, I didn't show this, but I'm able to actually have a pass through where I can see my keyboard on my laptop. So as I'm watching it in VR, I can still be typing like normal. If you've memorized your home row, back when they used to teach that, when you memorized your home row, you can kind of easily jump into doing things like this. If you're somebody who has to hunt and peck, then you have access to see it, and it's similar to that pass-through, but you can see your actual keyboard. The other thing is that the reason you're going to use things like this, I was there by myself, but it enables a team workspace environment. So you've seen, we've got Smart Sheets that's out there. You have a bunch of these different productivity tools. Facebook came out with Horizon over the summer. And so Horizon is a place where you can go in and work, do the same thing, except you're that really toony kind of character. There are a lot of different apps like that out there, but this one felt real. And so I heard you talking about avatars as I was leaving. Avatars, I wanted to have a whole session on avatars so I could show how people can actually get creative with themselves and their representations in these 3D spaces and VR and AR spaces, but we just kind of don't have time. So maybe we'll get that on the agenda for next week. I don't know. But definitely, you will be in this workspace with other people. So the reason I wanted to do this was because this summer, or a couple months ago, I actually attended a conference. It was Enter the Metaverse. I believe it was the Enter the Metaverse conference. And one of the speakers was there, and he donned his Bored Ape. So he had his Bored Ape skin on him. And, whatever you may think about Bored Apes, seeing him there was cool, because it's like, oh, this is where we're heading. Like, these Zoom calls are about to get a lot more spicy. You don't have to kind of be relying on people to keep you entertained or be looking at their little static picture. Your avatar is representing you. You don't have to do your hair. You don't have to do your makeup. You don't have to worry about, kind of, oh my goodness, my VR headset just messed up any makeup I did have on, and now I look weird on camera. Like your avatar represents you there, and so you will be surrounded by other people's representations of themselves, not just kind of like we are right now. Like we're seeing each other Zoom. We're all zoomed out. And so we just had, kind of even more of that type of engagement. But that is what we have. So it's going to be cool as workspaces get into actually adopting technology to increase productivity and take advantage of this new remote workforce that people are trying to cultivate. So awesome. I'm excited.
I know that it's fantastic. And just to let you know that I actually attempted spatial on my phone. So there is an app that you can download as well. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, spatial is accessible everywhere. And so we are looking right now at 10 o'clock and or 10:30, and we have a speaker that we need to bring in. So we're going to go to a quick break, and then we are going to come back and get things going again. So
more experiences. I'm excited.
Thank you guys. Stay tuned. Here goes an intermission. Have some dancing. Think about what dance moves your avatar is going to don.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. I am going to ask Ms. Charmaine if she is ready to come join us now. And then Yinka, if you can also do me a favor, that would be great. So we are talking about the future of the metaverse. We are women and we are building out the future of the metaverse. And it is a great place to be. It is a great thing that we've got going on. We have an opportunity. So I think that it has been really significant that almost every speaker in some regard has talked about being disregarded, either as women or as women of color, or as women of excellence. They have been disregarded in some regard, and we've all felt that. It is important that we have diversity in this space. It's important that we have inclusion. And I heard Tam say this earlier. The metaverse is for everyone. It really is. We are building out, and we are building out the decentralized metaverse. And it is a space where we want everyone to be. So without further ado, I am going to bring up Ms. Charmaine Short, and Charmaine is going to tell us all about her project and what she's doing to enhance diversity and inclusion across the metaverse. So Charmaine, please join me on stage. Hey Charmaine, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. We are delighted to have you once again join us. And so I am going to ask you to go right ahead and tell us a little bit about you, and then I will bring up your slides while you're doing that.
Okay, so first of all, I'm delighted to be here today. I'm honoured to be among all these amazing speakers. I'm quite sad this is the last day of the event. I'm an NFT art collector and a writer. I'm passionate about promoting blockchain technology and encouraging more people to embrace Web3. So in 2020, I co-founded a DAO called Women of Crypto Art. It's called WOCA, and that supports women NFT artists. So we believe that Web3 should be an open and decentralized community with equal opportunities and space for all. But I'd like today to discuss some of the challenges that women and underrepresented groups are facing with the metaverse and NFTs, and any opportunities that we have to lower the entry barriers for the metaverse. Right, thank you. Yeah, so I've just got one slide. So we're tired of people being bullied for their colour, their sexual orientation. We're tired of women avatars in computer games being sort of sexualized or made into minor characters, and having our calls for accessibility being ignored. So one of my first metaverse experiences was as a member of WOCA, when I was invited to a round table that was discussing how to encourage more women to use a particular metaverse. But when I tried to join the conversation in the web browser, the only avatar available was the default white male. So I contacted the platform and I asked them, how do I select a female avatar? And I was told that there wasn't one. So the platform owner wanted more women users, but didn't see it as a priority to give women or people of colour their own identity. So, you could just imagine a bunch of women standing around a table in the metaverse, all looking like men. So it was a chicken and egg situation. How are you going to attract more people to use your metaverse if you're unwilling to cater for their needs? So what we need to do is create a metaverse that will empower everyone and ensure equal access and respect. So this is basically where I was coming from. So some of the challenges that I've faced and I've spoken to from people from WOCA and Queendom, I'll come on to them in a bit, but the main challenges, the first one is disabilities. So there are 1.2 billion people with disabilities, and collectively they make up the largest minority. So the metaverse can empower these people to operate on an equal footing with everyone else, but we have to consider their additional requirements when designing the metaverse. So disabled populations were some of the earliest adopters of extended reality technology, like Oculus Quest. And wheelchair users can find VR headsets in static mode, gives them a great sense of freedom and even pain relief, or they can also set them to react if the wheelchair moves. So we need to advance a disability inclusive metaverse. The metaverse is our doorway to experience technology in a new way. And we need to grasp this opportunity, not to take the biases from Web 2 into the virtual world. So disability intersects all dimensions of human diversity, and we need to collaborate to make the technology easier for everyone. So people are spatial beings. We were in spatial earlier. We like events, we like going to concerts, movies, sporting events. And as the metaverse evolves, we need to make these virtual gatherings more accessible with immersive tools. So there are sometimes issues with the hardware. For example, non-adjustable VR headsets, where the pupillary distance for women is generally sort of closer together than men, because women have generally smaller heads. And this leads to women experiencing simulation sickness when wearing a VR headset. It's like wearing glasses with the wrong prescription. We also need to leverage marginalised people's knowledge and skills to help us build a more accessible technology and experience to help everyone thrive. We should be including and developing it with people with disabilities. So it's a global issue, inclusion, and we need to provide more opportunities for projects led by women and underrepresented groups so that we can leverage these communities. This will make sure that our online experiences consider the requirements of everyone. Because we all know that things work better when they're designed for accessibility from the start. And the best strategy is to consider who is the system being designed for. So people with disabilities exist across all gender, race, geographical, educational and socio-economic areas. And the requirements of these most marginalised groups need to be heard during the early stages of product design, including people with cognitive and physical disabilities, like people who can't wear a VR headset. And then this approach would be cheaper than retrofitting accessibility into a product after launch. I think we spoke a couple of weeks ago on Metaverse Friday, saying that there were examples of VR users in Nigeria that were testing out Oculus Go, having the straps snap because it didn't, it wasn't built to deal with African hairstyles. So, you just need to be more inclusive and include people from all over. So there's an organisation, well, there's a saying, DEIA, diversity, equity, inclusion and accessibility. And these are the words everyone needs to be thinking about when designing their technology. So sometimes people ask me, what are the barriers that people experience using virtual reality, augmented reality, or mixed reality? So some things could be like missing alt text on images, or ambiguous link text, unclear controls, timeouts that can't be controlled, not understanding the order or meaning of words, becoming overloaded with information, or having difficulty discriminating between colour contrasts on the screen. If you're red, green, colourblind, you're dyslexic, unable to control a mouse, all these types of things, they need to be built in from the start and co-designed. Beyond the basic accessibility, we need to make sure that our systems are fair and just, and to make sure that the same opportunities are there for everyone to reach their potential in hybrid workplaces. And including DEIA in your core values in a socially responsible manner is not just the right thing to do. It also improves your product and services for all users and should be the primary goal of design. And it also leads to more revenue and higher profits. So the next challenge I want to talk about is digital literacy. With the growing number of blockchains, WOCA, Women in Crypto Art, plays a big role in supporting and onboarding creators who are starting their NFT journey, giving them blockchain guidance and education. So as you can see, our values are diversity, equality, fairness, and inclusion. And we invite women and anyone who supports our women, or supports our mission, to be seen, be heard, and be welcome in the NFT world. So as a group, we amplify each other's voices and display artwork in museums. We have the WOCA gallery in Cryptovoxels. Various artists within WOCA have their own galleries in Decentraland, Somnium Space, lots of other metaverses. We've actually got an exhibition coming up in a couple of weeks called Graffiti Queens, which will showcase the art of over 200 women NFT artists and girls across multiple metaverses and in physical art galleries. So it's a great way to get the message out. Women are here, we are on the blockchain, we're creating art, come and look at it, support us, buy our art. So if anybody's interested in joining WOCA, the first place to look is on our Twitter, and it's got links to our Discord. I'm Bitcoin Madame, I'm one of the co-founders of the organisation. Everybody's very open and very welcoming, so if anybody's struggling to get into NFTs, come and join WOCA. The other thing I want to talk about is digital identities, including things like LGBTQIA+. So the metaverse opens up a world of possibilities, choosing how we want to be seen, and we can design who we really are, not what society decides we are based on our appearance. So we need safe spaces where non-binary, transgender, or gender fluid people can feel safe and accepted as their authentic selves in a like-minded community. Some of the default choices of clothes and accessories in the metaverse are limited and don't allow people to show this individuality. So we need to adjust how we categorize the avatars, the clothing, the objects, not as male and female, but maybe masculine, feminine, and gender neutral, and allow people to display their preferred pronouns. So if you can imagine the first ever decentralized metaverse with no sexism, racism, bullying, a place where everyone is welcome and women and underrepresented groups can feel safe as part of a like-minded community. That's Queendom. So Queendom is built on the Solana blockchain, and it's the first ever metaverse platform that was created and led by women and minorities. So we've built in these requirements from the ground up. We're empowering women, LGBTQIA+, BIPOC, individuals with differing cognitive and physical abilities. We're offering a safe and inclusive environment with minimal barriers for entry. We're providing blockchain education, empowerment, basically making the minorities the majority. I would have liked to have done a demo on Queendom, but it is, there is a proof of concept out there, but it is very much being built as we speak. But I see great things coming from Queendom. So Queendom is the first metaverse like that. But, they should all be like that, really. And you can see there all the values. I wouldn't read them out, but it's all the things that we would like to be in the metaverse. You've got justice, respect, empathy, kindness. Who wouldn't want that? So I just want to sort of leave you with my thoughts here. Blockchain technology can transform the digital world into a new improved internet. But for the metaverse to thrive, it's essential that we all get along with each other. So let's create a well-designed, inclusive and accessible metaverse where people and community well-being is a priority and everyone is welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Charmaine. It is important. I am so excited that we are going to dive into this topic even more so today. And that is coming up shortly. We want to thank you for your contribution to this space, and thank you for being a part of the International Women of Blockchain Conference. You've been invaluable. And we are going to catch up again because very shortly we're going to be having a whole entire conversation about harassment in the metaverse. And Charmaine is definitely going to join us for that, and we are extremely excited to kind of just get to talk to the blockchain conference. So thank you, Charmaine.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys. So next up, we are moving into the metaverse, and in the metaverse, we are talking about diversity, inclusion, and creativity, and honoring our ancestors and the things that have led us to the place where we are now in the space. And so I am delighted to present once again Ness Rocks. Nana, please come on up to the stage. Ness is going to show us what they've done with the African Museum of the Metaverse. So Ness, you there?
Hello, I'm here. Thank you, Nicole.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and leave it to you. So tell us a little bit about you once again, and then I will add, our Cryptovoxels experience here. If you are following along, we have provided the links for you to be able to join us and hop into Cryptovoxels yourself. So Ness, take it away.
All right, thank you so much. First of all, it's always an honor to speak to people that kind of are on the same wavelength and understand the importance and the potential of blockchain technology. And thank you so much for putting this event together. I know it's a lot of work. Can you see my screen? All right, perfect. So we are starting off, I'm going to give a nice tour and give some fun facts. We're starting off on the outside of the museum on the first floor. All right, so this is the African Museum of the Metaverse. Now this museum has over $40,000 worth of art in it. It's owned by BlackSanta.eth, and it's created by NFT. It was built by NFT. Both of these are Black-owned businesses. So the first thing that I'm going to start off with is a layout of the museum. So as we move closer here, you'll see that the first floor has a periodic exhibits a teleportation device to the Decentraland Museum, which right now is a very, very large plot of land. And then we have on the second floor our Afrofuturism art. On the third floor, we have traditional African art and a lounge. And on the rooftop, we have a deck and a pool, which could serve as a performance space. And we also have lots of education in African history on that floor as well. So I will go ahead and start with, and we have a visitor, I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and start with this Osinachi piece in the middle here. When you are on every floor, you're gonna notice that there's gonna be like a TV set right here. And when you click on it, just in case you're new to Metaverse and Cryptovoxels, there's gonna be a guided tour. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. So in case you want to follow the link, which I'll post in Discord and Nicole has posted, you'll be able to have some assistance. You won't fully be alone. Someone like explaining everything for you. So we'll start off with this Osinachi piece. It was 7.5 ETH. And when you look at this piece, you can, on every piece on the floor, actually, you can click on them and you'll have a description of the piece with the creator's name, right? And it even has the wallet address. So one of the awesome things about having a blockchain museum is that from the comfort of your home, you can just grab all of this information. That's really helpful. When you click on, when you click on the plaques in front of each of the each of the pieces, you'll have a link that'll take you over to the artist's Twitter page, which is also something that's unique because you can automatically jump to see, like, peek more into the life of this artist and how they chose to express themselves on social media. Sometimes you can get a peek into, what's going on their day-to-day, depending on how expressive they are. So I'm going to now move over to the Ethereum name service gallery. So the African Museum of the Metaverse has the largest collection of ENS domain names that are African, and they're not quite showing up. Let's see, they're not quite loading. This one's loading. Let's see, this is Ashanti.eth. But if you click on them, you'll be able to see what it is. So this is evo.eth, and then there's like a description. Let's see. I think as time goes on, we'll be able to get all of these to load. But if you just click on them, you'll see what it is. This is westafrica.eth. I actually helped in acquiring these ENS domains before the museum was built. It's been a very long journey. We have hausa.eth. So if you just take your time and move through here, you'll see a lot of these ENS domains. Just go ahead and click on them to see what it is. We have zulu.eth. All right. And ETH domains are pretty cool and futuristic. They can be used to transfer Ethereum. They can also be used as like domain names on the blockchain as well. So it's really important to secure these African ones for ourselves. So as we move over to this side, we have like a rotating museum. It's like a spotlight exhibit. So every once in a while, we'll periodically spotlight some African artists in the space. So if we move to this side, we will see the wonderful African female artist, Terera, and some of her beautiful artworks. Once again, if you click on the art, you'll see that this one's actually in motion, which is another really beautiful aspect of having a blockchain, like a museum on the blockchain. You're able to see the still, you're able to click on it to get that visual experience if it's in motion. You can see the current owner, the wallet address, which is amazing for verification. This is the original piece by Terera, and we see that it is in this person's wallet address. So there is no stealing this art. And even if there was some hack where it was stolen, the blockchain would show us receipts and we would be able to know exactly what happened to it, where it is, and take action from there. So we have Terera. If you want to see her social media page, once again, you click on the plaque and you can actually go visit her Twitter page and get to know her. So we have this artist Kiggs here. Once again, this art is in motion and it is just absolutely phenomenal, the art that is coming from our community. And you can read the description here. All right, and then we have, once again, the great artist Philil. Philil is a unique artist because he has his one-of-one pieces, as you can see here, but he actually released a punk, like a generative punk collection that really rallied the community. We all know about CryptoPunks, but we didn't see much representation of ourselves in that collection. And we saw that with CryptoPunks, the punks that looked like us were the cheapest amongst the whole collection. So it's really beautiful to see an African creator create a like punk derivative project called the Funks that looks like us. It's really awesome. So we are going to exit the rotating museum, and we are going to go to the second floor. Oh, and let me not forget, this is our Decentraland teleportation device. So African Museum of the Metaverse is going to be one of the first, well, it's going to be the only multi-metaverse African museum on the blockchain. So this Cryptovoxels Museum is our first location. And so our Decentraland location, though it's still a plot of land, it's actually 9 plots of land. It's going to be absolutely huge, massive. And if you want to go there just to check it out, you would click on these pyramids, which if you guys are familiar with cryptocurrency or anything like that, you'll notice that pyramids are also part of the symbol for mana. So let us go up these spiral stairs, and just forgive me, I have trouble with spiral stairs in metaverses, so I'm going to try my best here. Okay. This is fun. Okay, we've made it. We survived. Okay, so now we are on to our second floor. And this second floor is all about Afrofuturism. So if we just take some time, I really love that the blacktwitter.eth ENS domain is on the second floor, because just imagine what our ancestors thought, like in the past, if they could look into the future and see that, you know, Black Twitter has united us and there are no geographic restrictions. Like just through the internet, we're able to collaborate and share ideas with each other. I believe blacktwitter.eth is very much a piece of Afrofuturism. Let's go ahead and move closer. So if you look and just click on some of these art pieces, you'll see just, it's really amazing. It's really amazing, the art that people are able to put together. Let's go ahead and move here. We have another guided tour of the floor. Let's see, this is a Meta Night. It's actually one of the generative projects that I'm on, and it's all about blockchain literacy and centering African lore. We have a piece by Afroscope, and if you just want to take some time to really admire it, it really embodies Afrofuturism, like putting us in space. Let's move deeper into the second floor. If you look on this wall, we have an Afrodroid, really significant as it's calling for help, but it has the colors of the Nigerian flag. If we look here, we have a piece by Felusho. Hold on a second. And Felusho is really awesome. One of the things he's known for is the texture in the hair. If you want to get to know more about Felusho or see more of the art, you can always click on the creator, click on like the wallet address to find more. You can view on OpenSea. I believe his socials are there. It's really important that our hair is depicted in all of its grandeur on the blockchain. And then let's move a little bit this way. We have a reimagining of the Dogon mask, which as we move to the next floor, we'll get a little bit more history on the Dogon culture. But as you can see, whether the art is a still piece or if it's a motion piece, this museum is able to just capture the magic that is in the art that, you know, comes from our culture. So this is the second floor. Have a little bit more art by Kepler Blinks. So definitely come back to the museum, take your time, read through the descriptions, follow these artists on their social media pages. A lot of them talk about their inspirations sometimes. And you can just get a peek into the lives of these honestly influential African figures. So once again, we're going up the spiral staircase again. I think I'm getting better at it. And now we are on the 3rd floor. Once again, there's another guided tour here if you come on your own. Now, this floor is all about traditional African art, and it is also a lounge if you just want to come to the metaverse and relax. So we can start here. And we have some more art by the wonderful Phil. And you can read through the descriptions. And I feel like there's a really nice contrast. These two pieces almost match each other, Phil and MDD, right across from each other. Now, like I was saying on the 2nd floor, where there was a piece of art that referenced Dogon masks, we have 2 of these pieces from Kofi Obubi. He has a mask collection, and if you can see by the description, there is a lot of history with each piece of art. And so we absolutely had to have him in the collection because by just looking at his pieces and just reading through the descriptions, you can learn a lot. The Dogon was a tribe that was in West Africa, and they were able to actually map out the Sirius star system prior to there being, like NASA's telescope technology. And it challenges this idea that ancient African societies were primitive. And, because it's just like they were able to have knowledge of something before Western society was able to build their technology to confirm it. So it's just really amazing. Another piece by Kofi here. I hope you can hear this. It's absolutely beautiful. I hope the audio was able to relay, but there was some really nice like African style beats with Kofi talking over it and just giving like history into the mask. And it's just honestly a great experience. We have some beautiful art here. Let's go deeper into the lounge. As we go deeper into the lounge, we see more absolutely just historical art. I hope the audio is translating. You can see it in full screen. Okay, audio is not translating too much, but at least we can go full screen with the art. I mean, the art is absolutely breathtaking. Definitely come back, visit the museum, and take your time. All right. So if we move through, we see, we also have here, I think this is the first African museum of the Metaverse wearable. Definitely a representation of East African art on the blockchain. So once again, if we just wanna, let's go ahead and look at this piece of art too. It's just, there's just absolutely beautiful, beautiful art on this floor. So we are going to move out of the lounge, come back, take your time. To just experience what's here. So now we are going to move on to the top floor. I am trying my best with these spiral stairs. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I see Technical dancing there. She's so excited to be on the top floor. That's what this floor is actually for. So if we just start here, we have a stage. So there can be performances. One thing I want to note about this top floor is that there are no NFTs on this floor. What we have here are historic African figures and information, and some links that'll go out to journal articles. So we have images of historic African figures, and when you click on them, it'll take you to their Wikipedia page. So you can take some time out to read through this stuff and learn. As we move over to the right side, these are links that will take you to publications. Let's see. So let's go ahead and travel over to a publication. The African Policy Journal. If you want to scroll down on these publications, let's see, to the table of contents, you'll kind of see what it's about. Africa's next decade of public policy development is being led by technology innovators, right? Tech, blockchain technology, it's really important to the evolution of the continent and the diaspora. Climate change challenge, the Kenya-Somali maritime dispute is far from over. So definitely take some time to go through some of these publications.
Hey Ness, I'm gonna ask you because I asked Mime. Scroll back over just for a second because
of course. Right here.
So this is the African Museum of the Metaverse. Can we explain what's going on here?
With Elon Musk. Okay, yes. I will absolutely explain why Elon Musk is significant. First, let me start by going over to this African figure here, Mansa Musa. Let me see if I can let there be a nicer view of him. Mansa Musa was the richest man in recorded history, right? Who was an African man. And as we move closer to Elon Musk, he is currently the richest man on the planet now. And he was also born in Africa. So I feel like it is very significant that we show that Africa, there are smarts in Africa, there is wealth in Africa, and the rest of the world should really catch up. So that's why they're there. And honestly, African history, it can be controversial. So I actually love the questions. It's very important that we have open and honest discussions about these types of things. We can see the continent spinning in the air, which I think is a great centerpiece for the top floor of the museum. And yeah, what I wanted to actually leave you with at the conclusion of this tour is that the African Museum of the Metaverse in Cryptovoxels is actually the smallest museum. Because we have land in Decentraland, which is actually 9 plots of land, and in Sandbox, there's actually going to be an entire world where you can envision things like African masks in a forest, right? That type of exhibit, and then like an Afrofuturist city. The African Museum of the Metaverse that we see in Cryptovoxels is the smallest one, and the world for expansion is so great. There is a lot more art that could not fit in this museum, so it will be showcased as we jump from metaverse to metaverse. And that's really what I wanted to leave you with. We're still in the process of acquiring more art, and there will be more opportunities for education as we move forward into different metaverses. So yes.
That is awesome. I love this. I had the pleasure of premiering this before it actually before the actual premiere in Blackverse with your cousin Mime.
Yes.
And we had such a good time just kind of coming through. Everybody jumped into the space. These spaces are available, and that's what I love, is that you can jump in, you got to know the address, but once you get there, you can walk around and experience other things too. So can you do me a favor and just kind of zoom in on me just for a second? This is my avatar, and I found this the other day. When you start off in Cryptovoxels, you're what we call naked, but you're also a character that you may or may not resonate with. So you have a very, very, very pale skin tone. And so your skin can actually be updated. So there we go. So you're in this anonymous character and you're a blank slate. And so many of us want to put personality onto ourselves. In Cryptovoxels, you have the option to change your flavor or add a little dip in your honey. And so you can change the color of your character with the editor and the avatar editor, and that is available to you. You don't have to pay a thing to make that happen. And you can also help support other artists in this space by purchasing wearables. And so we talked about wearables earlier. That is fashion that your avatar can wear. So definitely tap in, because people are creating things. For St. Patrick's Day, I have a whole entire outfit thanks to all the great folks in this space who made it and was giving it away for free. So tap in, because when you do, it does reward you, and you're able to look a little bit more snazzy than normal, and you are distinguishable by that avatar. So thank you so much, Ness. Thank you for showing us what we wanted to see. I have been dying to see this. There's been a thing getting us here, but I am excited that this actually happened today. So thank you for coming out and coming through, and we appreciate you.
Awesome. You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. And then I did want to just briefly mention, we are actually in the process of creating like a store, like a gift shop that will have some wearables. They're going to be daishikis. They're going to be digital metaverse daishikis, so that we can have some African culture wearables coming soon. But once again, thank you so much, Nicole. I know a lot of effort goes into these conferences.
We're done with Fridays. I'm excited. You have no idea. Thank you, Ness. All right, guys. So the party is going to continue. We are way over schedule, but we have a couple things coming up. So right now we are going to take an opportunity to tap into this social audio craze that hit us last year. When we're talking about the metaverse, social audio apps came in handy in 2020. They really rose to the occasion in 2021. We were able to get into these spaces and have conversations without having to get dressed up and without having to look our best selves on Zoom. So we could meet people from all across the world. And that is absolutely what the metaverse is about. But when you think about it, we use things like Twitter Spaces. We're using things like Clubhouse, and there's even, Spotify has a version. There's a couple of different versions out there. People could say that Discord is also a form of social audio app. But to me, those are not metaverses. There is something that makes a metaverse very, very unique, and that is the interconnectivity and interoperability of the space. And so while they are adding more features, I still don't feel like you know what I'm feeling when I am in the middle of a conversation and you say something I don't like. If I have my mic muted, you don't hear that. If I'm in the audience, you have no idea if that actually just was something that was helpful or that I need to respond to, because I can't respond because I'm not on stage. You have to be on stage, which means oftentimes getting invited to that party. We have some things that are being developed that are changing the game. And so the next thing I'm going to show you today, and hopefully my computer is going to cooperate, is our version of the metaverse for the web. And so this is an app called, it is called Connect.Club. And it just launched not too long ago. And this is going to be very tiny. So what I want everybody to do is go ahead and try to join Connect.Club. If you are a member of Blackverse, then you are already approved to be in this space. If you're not, then join us, because there's a link and you can join, and then that gets you access into Connect.Club. So what you're looking at right now is a space. So if you are already into social audio apps, you understand that there's this concept of a room or a space that's been developed. This is that same thing. The difference here is that I am able to move around in this space. I'm able to provide my video screen as a share. I'm able to also allow you to talk to me, and there is what we call a circle of influence, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to moderate Charmaine and let Charmaine into the club. Charmaine is going to join us in this space, and she's going to just click on the room, and she'll join us in real time. So that's awesome. These spaces are really, really cool, because no matter where I go, if I am a moderator, then there's different room settings that allow you to be heard and to hear. If I move over here, then this person that's down here, I want to say that is that chick. She can't hear me. So if I go over here, that's realistic, right? So if I'm all the way across the room, you can't hear what I'm saying. And so it's important that these spaces kind of reflect and resemble real life, and that is what we have. I can have a group of people networking around this table, and we can all be talking and having a conversation, and that circle of influence is there. And if for some reason that chick joins me in this space, then she can hear me too. And that's really, really cool. So one thing that you also want to know is that there are different room settings. And so we've had another person join us, and so that's awesome. There are different rooms and different room settings, and folks can come in. And so you're seeing the people from this conference right now as we're talking, joining us in this space and learning how to use this app. And I think that that's really cool. You can sit around the table and have a conversation. If I am in this layout and I stand in this circle, then the whole entire room can hear me no matter where they are. So they don't have to be next to each other. They don't have to be next to me. I am the keynote speaker in this instance. And so I'm broadcasting my voice across everything. There's some other really cool stuff here, and I'm going to quickly kind of show that. I have the ability to react. So I can put up a reaction, and I don't know that I can zoom in because I'm actually showing my screen, but you get kind of that whole entire Clubhouse feel here where you have your own bio. There is a club. So this is Blackverse. This is my club. We are also on Connect.Club and Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces. That's where you can find us. But in addition to this, you have the ability to, like I said, you can, I can go live with my camera. So if I stand up or I kind of pick up my phone, you can see like I'm broadcasting my face. Hi, I'm waving. This is all real time. So see, you can also turn that off. But I can also take pictures of this session and share them out on social media on my phone while we are having this whole conversation. So I'm showing you guys this for a couple of reasons. One, so really quickly, this is also another way that you can get creative and why this is a metaverse, right? So I'm sharing right now our week 2. This was week 2 of the conference. So if you missed that, that is something that I'm sharing on screen right now. And I'm not able to do kind of to make it go full screen, but that's okay. If you understand what I'm doing, then I am showing my phone. And so my phone right now is in portrait mode, and I cannot change it for the purposes of this demonstration to horizontal mode or landscape mode. But if I had, then you'd be able to see the video. Okay, so there's some really cool stuff that is happening in the space. That video is streaming actually. So it's a headache. So yeah, let me go ahead and mute it though. So you can see, you should be able to see that it is starting up on screen. Yeah, so you can see the movement here. of the actual video. So if you are in the space, then there's Charmaine has just joined us. If you're in the space, then you're able to kind of move around. You get really flexible and fun. It is like a facelift for Clubhouse, in all honesty. And I love the fact that folks have done this and said, we're going to make this a real metaverse. And not only do you have this type of experience, you have the ability to take this experience and make it that much bigger. I foresee things like customizing this palette or this template that's been used where, we're kind of in this office or networking space. There's a kitchen there. Maybe I want to put that in the middle of space because that's what I do, right? Maybe you want to take things to another level and actually create like a mega conference room or a boardroom with swanky all the fixings and things like that, perhaps a refrigerator or something like that. Like you can do whatever you want to in these spaces. So I recognize this is little, but I do want to bring up Yinka because Yinka is actually in and Charmaine is actually in right now too. So hey, you guys, you're on stage. What do you think about Connect.Club?
I like it. I think it's cool. It's when you and I went into it, there was some hesitancy on my part, right? Because I was like, I don't need another social media app. I don't want to get into this. But I think this is a great concept. It makes that whole audio experience more interesting, as well as I think Clubhouse really missed the mark by not making this one of their most recent versions, right? Because they know that people aren't finding value in Clubhouse anymore. So by going this route, this is more fun. This is interactive. You actually, it's a gamified version, right? So it captivates your attention. And I can definitely see myself just having too much fun.
So fun is a thing, right? So you want to be able to have fun in these spaces. And Clubhouse is great for just having a conversation, being introduced to people from, all across the world. But there's something really cool about being able to do that and being able to connect with them. So Tam and Charmaine, what did you guys think of Connect.Club? I think it's your first time here. So what did you think of this experience?
But I've been. Can you hear me? Yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I've been in before. I became aware of this through LinkedIn. Someone invited me to a meeting that was happening there, and it was set out a little differently. It was like a stage and an audience, so all the listeners were in the audience. And then, you had to sort of wait to the end, and then they invited people to come up on the stage and ask a question. And I thought this was amazing. But I really like this setting. It's like going to a house party at someone's really cool house. I love it.
It is. Tam, what do you think? You're muted.
Sorry, I was over here playing with it. You guys know I love me some Clubhouse, and this is just like Clubhouse, like even better version. Like like Inka was said, they missed the mark with being able to do this because being able to toggle on, my camera is like really neat, so you can see me. I'm over here on the couch, and now. But I'm also in the stream. So this is super neat. I'm so excited about this. And definitely what Charmaine was saying, like it's like being at a house party too. So if I want to have a couple friends over and we're in a neat space like this, it could be cool. We can actually feel like we are somewhere else but still together. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and what I think is cool about it too, is that I don't know about you, but I like to play games a little bit. So it's somewhere where I can be fun, and so I can, what they say, let my hair down a little bit. I was in here the other day with a friend, And he and I were just kind of like running around and chasing each other in this space. It's like we're grown adults, right? But it's like these spaces bring out the fun side of people. And so I know Yinka and I did the same thing the other day. Like we were running around and I was running from her at one point. And she was running from me at another point. And we're just kind of like almost like keep away, but with the audio, right? So for the audio, you know, you have this little circle, and I call it your circle of influence. It's your circle that allows people to hear you. And it's kind of the size of where I'm standing right now. If you can see that on screen, that's the circle. But as I'm walking through these spaces, you can click in different areas, and as you're clicking through, you can actually hear people. So if I'm jumping from the left to the right of the screen, like I might be going into different circles of influence and different circles of audio reception. So you can literally network, and that's what some of these rooms are called, is networking. Others have an intimate environments, and others are you know, kind of just wide open, so anybody can be a speaker, so you're hearing everybody talk at once. But I think that it'll be really cool, because I'm not sure how this works for moderation when there's a room of 500, you know. So definitely some challenges, but look through your phone for metaverse type experiences. You are able to access the metaverse in many different ways, and that is what we have tried to show you today. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. We're going to go ahead and shut that part down. When we come back from break, we are going to be moving into a conversation that needs to happen. And that is about harassment in the metaverse for us as women, and what, you know, some of the things that we're concerned about, as well as some of the things that have happened, and just kind of talk to those in an intimate setting with the ladies on stage. And we are going to just see where that conversation takes us. So thank you for tapping in to the Metaverse Hop. We are going to go to a brief intermission, and then we will be back after this song.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, can you hear me? Okay. Oh wait.
And we're back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are here and we are happy to be here on this finale of the Futuristic Fridays in the Metaverse for the International Women of Blockchain Conference. It has been my pleasure to take us through all these different spaces, not only today, but all month long. We've had some really cool things. So now we're going to talk about us because we are women. These conversations don't really get to be had in too many different spaces. So we're gonna do that. And so I'm joined on stage by Yinka and Tam, who you have come to know throughout all of this journey, all month long. And we're also joined by Charmaine. Charmaine has joined us a couple of times, but you did hear from her earlier today. And so we're talking about delicate topics. So I want to be mindful of that. If you have triggers, then may the conference end here today for you for Futuristic Fridays. We appreciate you tuning in. This is probably not going to be, we're going to handle this as delicately as possible, but there are sensitive topics ahead. So please be mindful of that. And we want you to care for your inner you and just take care of that. So that is my disclaimer. As we move forward, we're going to be talking about harassment in the metaverse. There have been many instances of conversations and activities that have come out over the last couple of months, really, about things that are happening in the metaverse. Most of them are wonderful. Some of them are not. And so I wanted to put together this panel to talk about what that's like. So what does it look like to be harassed in the metaverse? Can you be harassed in the metaverse? And then to also really talk to some of the things we can do to stay safe. So with that said, ladies, have you heard of the different types of harassment that have happened in the metaverse?
Yeah. I've heard of, I think it was a Verizon incident that happened some months ago where an a woman complained that she was harassed within Verizon. I'm sorry, I say Verizon.
Horizon.
Within Verizon. And it was an article that was written about it, which basically, spearheaded the whole discussion about, the potential for harassment in this space. So I've heard of that one. I have not heard of others. So I'm curious to hear like what other versions. But then you also, I want to take back that statement. When we're traveling on the internet, you get all kinds of harassment, right? So it's not just synonymous with the metaverse. It's being on the internet. We're getting exposed to all kinds of people across the world, right? And I think we were in alt space. I forgot what event, but it was like a huge event that we were all celebrating. And we were also harassed during that particular situation as well. And the most frustrating part was that you couldn't identify quickly, right, who the individual was because they were able to, I guess, blend in because there was a lot of people in that event that was having fun. We were literally having fun. And this troll decided that they were just going to have fun at our expenses, and it was frustrating more than anything, but it also was kind of funny to trying to figure out who it was as well.
Yeah, so that brings up a good point, right? Like, so what is harassment? What are we defining that as? I don't know that there's a definition. I really don't. I think that it's anything that messes with your personal ethos, right? So anything that doesn't make you feel comfortable, that is harassment for you. And so I think that, it comes in many different forms. There are going to be racial slurs. There are going to be trolls who are just there to make you have a bad day. There's going to be unwelcome advances, and there are going to be people with no home training. That's what I call them. And there's a lot of different flavors. There's going to be people who decide that you are one thing that they don't like. And that can be, you know, your choice of avatar, your choice of favorite color that your character always wears, or it could be who you represent yourself as in the metaverse. And so when it comes to all of those things, that's harassment. Whenever somebody crosses that line that you're not comfortable with, that is a form of harassment. So, you know, that's really what we're talking about here. There is also the deeper context of unwelcome sexual advances. And so there were articles that were written, and I just, while we're doing an international conference, want to take the moment to say that I felt that all the articles, literally all of them, were very insensitive to the topic, because it was a very serious thing, and they just emblazoned this word out onto news headlines, and it splashed through Instagram feeds and Twitter and everywhere. And it was just very like this jolting thing. And I feel like news media organizations do that, and they don't realize the impact that they may have. So, you know, I want to bring you into the conversation, Charmaine. What are you seeing as harassment in the metaverse?
Yeah, so there's microaggressions sometimes where, like in Cryptovoxels, it's not clear whether you're a man, a woman, non-binary. Everybody just looks like a human, and I think that's a good thing. But you get called bro and dude, and it's like, for God's sake, you know. So there's that kind of thing. They're just ignoring your identity. And then there's also, if you choose an avatar that's wearing like something like a crop top or a bikini top or something like that, then there's this argument that, well, you're asking for attention, you're asking to be abused, you're trying to draw attention to yourself. You think, well, wait a minute, shouldn't my avatar be able to wear anything it likes, as many or as little clothes as it wants, without attracting that sort of sexuality attention? So there's all these kind of things. And sometimes, as in real life, the blame is put back onto women. It's like, well, men can't control their urges. It's your fault for making us feel this way. That's why we're attacking you. It's like, well, no, you know, we should be a bit beyond that now. We're all civilized people, surely. So there's all these sorts of things going on.
Yeah, for sure. All these things are going on, and they're going on in the real world, but also in this virtual space, right? So I think that it's important. You know, we have had, like, so we have this group of us that go into the metaverse together, and you know, we're kind of a very diverse group of women and guys who jump into the metaverse just to have fun. And it depends on kind of where we are. Like sometimes we're in a private space, but other times we go to public spaces. And I remember we went into this one public space, and it was like an art gallery. It was beautiful. And I walked around the corner, and our tour guide at the time had brought us to this place, and it was all about fashion. And I walked around the corner, and I think it was either a t-shirt or something on the artwork. There was a swastika, and I was just like, you know, I said, we need to leave now. And I was trying not to alert the bigger group, because I didn't want anything to happen. But it's that jarring experience. It's that moment when you're like, no, this is not okay. And for me, we lead people through these spaces. So for me, it's important that we're caring and having this topic and kind of making sure that it's not something that impacts people. So I was trying to let her know that, hey, there's something here that, I don't come any further, And so my avatar is sitting there going like this. And I'm like, I'm trying to and she's not understanding what I'm saying. And so like 3 people come over because they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, wait, no, okay. Like, we just need to leave now. And so, later I told her, but it's hard to send that kind of thing out, especially when you're streaming, right? Because she was streaming, and so any messages I sent would have been sent to them, and so it was that moment when it's like, okay, wait, people are not safe here. What do we do? And that's the same thing in real life. It's not different in any kind of way. People are not safe here. What do we do? And so I think that that's, really what I want to talk about. What do we do in the metaverse when something happens? And the answer to that, to me, is leave. If you don't take anything else away from this, when you are not in a space that feels good for you, leave. If somebody makes you feel bad in any kind of way, leave, because it's as easy as taking off your headset to get you out of that position. But you are not going to be in the frame of mind to do that. So think through your plan of exit. Like, we always talk about that, right? Like, so, when things are happening in the world, you're thinking about like, how do I get out of this safely? So that's your plan of exit. What do you want to do to remove yourself from this space? I am thankful that in the metaverse, I feel like I have a lot more options available to me than I do in real life. Because when we think about when people are making us feel bad in real life, you can yell at them. You can get in a fight if you're that type of person. It results in violence and danger. You don't want to do that. You can, get mad and talk about it, and that takes up your blood pressure and makes it rise and stuff like that. But in the metaverse, you actually do have options. And so I think that there's a lot of different things that I want to get into about kind of the options that you have. But what are your fears of the metaverse when it comes to being a woman in this space? And I'll start with you, Tam.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. So I've also had some interesting experiences being a woman in the metaverse space. And my biggest fear is that I think, like a lot of us, like, that experience, because I can leave, and I have exercised, like, my right to leave and my ability to block people. But some of the fear comes behind, what if this person is someone that is, has the ability to figure out, I guess, kind of where I'm at, like, and figure out, like, certain things that, because like I might frequent different metaverses, what if this person, those fears turn from, just this is the metaverse, like I can leave, to something actually happening in real life. So that would be, I think, the biggest fear for me in my experience, though the most powerful thing has been just to leave. A lot of times, well, the incident that I had was just regular harassment, because I didn't get a chance to, I haven't actually been on my Oculus really very much since. And it was, someone was talking like about my voice, and like they were just very adamant on figuring out if I was a boy or a girl, and just based on my avatar, and like they felt like my avatar didn't match my voice, and I did not care to engage. So like, originally I tried to leave just because I was enjoying the metaverse I was actually in. It was like a DJ who was doing some stuff. And so, but after not being able to do that, I had to leave and miss out on the experience, the rest of the experience. And so I think that it is very important that, like, you do have the option. It also is, it gets kind of a little bit frustrating, and kind of like, what can you do if it's an experience that you really want to be in, or and the other thing that I would suggest that I am trying to get more familiar with is how to block, like, different people in the different metaverses. That is something that you want to make sure that you know how to do, because it's not always in the same place for different metaverses. But be able to be quick to that blocking option so that you can protect yourself. But I think that's the biggest fear, is that, like, that turns into real life, like, outside the metaverse.
That's such a good point. Because I'm somebody, like, my lives have been decentralized their whole life, right? Like, so I have always kept things in their buckets. So there's the work bucket, there's the personal bucket, and there's my gaming bucket. Those are all separate. Like, the identities are kind of different, and so the space fits me perfectly. I love it. But merging those together is not something that I'm excited about. We often talk about, like, even when we were setting up Connect.Club, what name do I use? I don't want to use my real name in these metaverse spaces because I come from the gaming world. We don't do that. You have IGNs; those are in-game names. There's things that you're known by in the metaverse. That's your nickname of sorts, right? And that is partially to protect you from the real world. But as we're moving into the metaverse, that's merging. And so that's my fear too. Like, I don't know that I want to do that, because I like kind of being, trolly and kind of maybe a bad girl in the metaverse, or in my gaming environments, and I'm different in real life, and so I am that person that does have kind of those like, I take advantage of the fact that, like, I'm in this virtual space to do things that I would never do in real life, because people know me in real life. I'm not trying to be known as this, but it's all fun stuff. Like, I don't do bad things. I'm just kind of a prankster. So it's like, that to me is fun. But it's definitely a fear that I acknowledge too, and I definitely resonate with. So I hear you 100% on that. So Yinka, Charmaine, what are some of your fears?
I'm not really, well, I was gonna say I'm not really sure if I have any fears. I guess there's the standard fears that's always out there, the more people know about you and what you're doing, and people start to follow you, the more people try to replicate who you are, right? I know, for one, you've been getting a lot of trolls, right? And they've been coming out of the woodwork left and right. That is a fear. That's a fear that someone is going to believe that this other person is now you. And so they're taking over your persona, ruining your brand and your reputation, right? Unbeknownst to you. I think that's the biggest thing. It's unbeknownst to you. I mean, the fact that we have a community that's giving us that insight, letting us know, alerting us, right, about these trolls out there is great. But what about the ones that we don't know about, right? That's my fear. I'm in cybersecurity, so speaking about wanting to have a different persona online versus wanting to segment who you are in different mediums or different platforms, that was very much important to me. And so, like, I have several different things that I have my hands in. And so not all of them do I want them to be connected with each other. And that's actually the way that I approach social media. I wanted to have, my business side here, my playful side here, maybe a personality there and another one there. I can do that. I'm a Gemini, so yes. But at the same time, I'm starting to realize that in order to brand yourself and market yourself, there may be a need for you to merge those two, because when certain people like you in this persona they're, removed from what else you do and other values you may add to this space. So Clubhouse was actually the first platform outside of LinkedIn that I actually put my real name. I don't know why I decided to do that, and it still feels weird to some degree. And I told you that, when you did an interview with me and used my full name out there, I was like, I felt some kind of way because I'm so not used to getting on those type of platforms like that. It's just not me. And so now it's like, there's the founder of BWBC. She's in a lot of different places. She's being interviewed, but then you don't know that because as my persona on Twitter, I'm not tagging that. So you don't know how to find me, but you know how to find the business, right? And so like it's just my comfort level of wanting to be free, do what I want to do, but also have that business side as well. And I'm slowly realizing that branding wise, it's a great way for you to put your whole self out there. But I don't know if I want to do that, and I'm just not ready for that. It's a slow progress for me.
Yeah, for sure. Everything you said, it's, yeah, we've had these conversations before, and I definitely feel the same. I do find that this space, like I asked that question, like, what if they knew my gamer girl was me? And that was me all those years ago, like this whole history of this person, and that's me. And then linking that up with this kind of straight laced do the right thing kind of like, not that she's bad, because she's not. Like, when you're a person, you're still that same person. Like, the integrity's still there. It's just that, like, she knows how to PK people, which is let me say PvP people. I can't even say it. PK is player kill. But PvP is player versus player. And so that is where you're fighting another player and jumping them for their goods. So she knows how to do that. And I don't necessarily want those two things because, when you're the person writing policy and procedure and diving into process, that's not necessarily the one that you want to be doing that kind of thing. Although in this space, maybe it is because I'm somebody who understands both worlds. So I think that you have that moment where it's like, I'm still waiting to see though, because I'm not there yet. My comfort level is not there. I want to see the big version of the metaverse when the interconnectivity happens. What does that look like? And maybe I evolve into something different at that time. I don't know. Charmaine, what about you? What are you fearful of?
Yeah, well, exactly what was just been said. My other worry is about building up rapport with people who you don't know. You only know them by their avatar and by their sort of in-game name, and they find out a bit too much about you through social engineering, and before you know it, they're applying for credit cards in your name, and they're doing all sorts of illegal things, basically stealing your identity for their gain. And like, I hate when you see on Twitter, like, drop your wallet address in this post and I'll give you a free NFT. I'm not telling anyone my wallet address. No way, So and some of that is just paranoia on my part. But I think if you are too trusting of people that you've never met, then you are going to get scammed at some point. So you have to be super vigilant. I mean, I'd like to think that 99% of people are honest and genuine people, but you just never know. And it's always the scammers that are the super nice ones. If you're having problems with them in Discord, and you say that, then there's always like 5 people pretending to be from the support team. They'll instantly want to help you out if you just like share your screen with them and put in your seed phrase. So this is my fear.
It's awesome that we all kind of have the same thing going on. I think that this space rewards transparency to a degree, right? So you talk about your wallet address. BWBC.eth is right there. I actually went and got mine, so I have technical.eth, and I didn't want to. It's like, the only reason I got it was so that someone else couldn't get it and then go out and do what they're doing to me on Instagram right this very second. Like, you get talked about that, right? So right now I'm being cloned on Instagram, and people are going around to people who follow them that think that's me. And they're saying, hey, come jump onto this investment opportunity. Well, you're hearing it right now. I don't ever tell anybody to jump into any investment opportunity. Never, ever, never, never. So if you know me, then you know that. And I'm getting tons of people who are coming to me, and that's part of what Yinka was talking about, this space. I am going to put up another disclaimer that that's not me, so that people see that that's not me. But Instagram needs to care for my identity too, and they're not doing that. Naja Roberts has had this happen to her 7 times since I've known her. There are trolls who, all they do is they take technology and they scrape a site. It's not even a hack. They scrape your site and then recreate it. And if you don't dig deep, you don't know that it's something that's out there that someone else has done. You assume that it's this person because you're not paying attention. Wallets help change that game. So you can look into my wallet and see that I own Kofi's mask. You can look into my wallet and see that I am technical.eth, and I own that. Ownership is important in this space, and I love the fact that it rewards us for things like that. Decentralized metaverse is where it's at, and that is the only way we're going to get there. So I want to take it back to safety really quickly. But first, Yinka, I saw you come off mute. So what were you going to say?
Oh no, I was just getting ready to maybe add to this. I mean, this is a great conversation, and there is I wanted to tell Charmaine, there's that need for fear, right? Because we know this whole space is built, the technology that we're harping about solely came about, and it's viable because we live in a trusted society. So that level of, not trusting another individual, that's accurate. That's unfortunately the environment where we came from. And we definitely need to be able to have that in mind so that we can navigate safely in this space, because, the internet is a hotbed. It's a hotbed of so many different bad actors out there. And we know this, right? Every single day we hear about, one platform being hacked and all these things. And also, Discord being like the place where a lot of people do get susceptible to some of these things out there, right? And so it's important for us to have this discussion and realize, okay, well, everybody looks so nice and so friendly, and, they're all accepting and open and all these things. But at the same time, what do we always do? Do your due diligence, right? Listen, but also do your due diligence. That also factors into, trust but verify, right? Because you need to verify that you're talking to the right person. You need to verify that you're getting the right information, and you can't just blindly trust people. And that's what we want people to do, to do their own education, do their own research, and get to a level where they can say, well, you know what? This person has been legit. They've done this, they've done that, they've done this. And it all goes back to that day old, kindergarten, or maybe, as you were even younger, before kindergarten, preschool, right? Where your parents tell you stranger danger. Well, guess what? A lot more strangers are on the internet, right? So it's a lot more dangerous, but people forget that because for some reason, the internet, people assume, and even kids, right? Assume that there's a lot of friends. Everybody is everybody's friends on the internet. And that's not the case, right? There's a lot of dangers and strangers. And so we need to, use that same mantra that our parents taught us in a young age and use it to navigate through this space.
Yeah, you know what? This conversation reminds me of one of the rooms we were in on Clubhouse, and I kind of reacted to that room, but there was a lady who was saying that she's got a dating app for the metaverse, and she wholeheartedly was telling people that the second you meet somebody that you think you have an interest in, move them to Instagram and to your personal socials. And for me, I'm like, what? Like, there's no way in the world. Like, absolutely not. But you know, she was saying that's her way of trying to push people to meet in real life and to take the relationship to another step further. To me, it's going to take a lot more than me feeling comfortable to bring you into my real world from the metaverse. And so I disagree with that guidance. I think that you need to really wait things out when you have these kind of online relationships, especially in the metaverse, because it's really easy. Like Tam mentioned your voice. And Tam mentioned your voice in the metaverse. And on an Oculus, at least, you can actually use the voice changer. So there, now the person you've fallen in love with isn't who you think they are. We have a term for that. It's called catfishing. But what did you fall in love with? Did you fall in love with that person or their money or whatever? So we are running up on time. And we're over time, but I want to just quickly give people some tips for safety in the metaverse. So when you are in a situation and you don't feel comfortable, the number one tip that we can leave with you is to log out. Log out. If you, for some reason, can't pull your headset off your head fast enough because you're not in the right frame of mind, try to teleport, because that should be something you're used to in that space. Teleport to either another location or somewhere away from a person or individual. You have your controller in your hand. Your teleport option is one of your controller functions. Just move. The other thing is the more simple things that if you're in the right frame of mind you can do is block someone. Block them. Definitely find, like Tam said, when you're going into each of these experiences, find what the settings are to block. That's one of the first things you should be looking for, is find some of the settings to block people. In a lot of these spaces, especially after these last stories have come out, things are changing. And so your personal bubble is automatically on in a lot of these spaces now, whereas before you had to turn it on. Now you have to turn it off. So just remember to keep it engaged. If remember how to actually reach out and turn it back on. It's usually right in front of you somewhere. If the design is a good one, it's right in front of you somewhere. Also, stuff like banning is a thing. Like, you can ban people from your space when you're creating your personal environments or your business environments. There's a list of people who can or cannot come into your space. There's the idea of public versus private. If you have a space and you want to have an intimate date or a conversation with somebody and you don't want to be interrupted, turn the personal private settings on. That prevents other people who aren't invited by you from coming in. Don't forget those, because those are really important. That will impact your experience quite a bit. If you think you're at home, just hanging out in your personal metaverse home space, and then all of a sudden, because you're in there, the application starts recommending that space to other people, and you're just trying to have a quiet getaway. Remember the privacy settings. In things like Roblox, your kids have these. It's a lock usually on the top of the app where you can turn it on and off. You can invite family to and from the space. That exists in our metaverses as well. So those are my tips. Ladies, do you have any tips for people as they're engaging in the metaverse?
Just my only thing I would add would just make sure that you're also doing your due diligence with your own self-care outside of the metaverse, because it helps build up that mental fortitude for when you do enter. So meditation, we have our self-care Sundays here. We have our last one coming up this Sunday. So, very important that you're also taking care of yourself IRL.
Yeah, that's definitely important. Everything that you guys have said so far, learning that you can block. I think part of your onboarding process is finding out how to do that, right? So you can get ready, because you never know when that first encounter will happen, because it will happen. And at the same time, making sure that when you remove yourself from that environment, that you take some time, because some of the things that does happen in that type of environment does kind of get to you in a different way than it would if you were in IRL, right?
Mm.
But just to experience that, it's kind of like a shock. So if you need a moment just to, go through the fact that that just happened, take that time, and may end up being like a serious shock to you, because you were 1 minute enjoying everything, next minute you're hearing some racial languages, and it's just like blowing you away, right? So definitely take some time to just go through that process that you need to go through before you jump back into the metaverse again.
And Charmaine?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of friends that I meet in the metaverse, but I think it's important to remember to still meet up with people in real life. These are your friends you've known for ages, and they're not going to let you down.
True. So one other tip I would give also is make sure that you're comfortable with your full name being out there if that's what you're naming your character. If you lead with yourself and your personality all the time, make sure that that's really, really what you want to do. Otherwise, find a way to rename your avatar. And usually there's a function somewhere, even if you have to go out onto a website to do so for that particular application, you can, especially, if you've put your whole name out there. Usually customer support will allow you to change that because they understand the challenges that come with that in these types of spaces. So, think about what your in-game name is going to be, or your, I guess we would call it an your in metaverse name, just to kind of coin that right now, maybe go buy the domain. But you guys, this has been an outstanding session. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for hanging out with me today as we have come to the end of Futuristic Fridays in the Metaverse. I appreciate all y'all, and I'm done. It's over.
I am sad. I'm sad. I mean, this is the last Futuristic Friday. This is the last Friday in March, so therefore the last Futuristic Friday. But you know what? The fun does not end here. Nicole does have Black Verse, as I mentioned yesterday during the AMA. If you joined us, she, and in her space, she takes us through all kinds of experiences, right? The stuff that you got introduced today is exactly what she does. Like, she sources these information, and I want y'all to tap into her and join us, continue to join us in the Discord, because the IWB Discord will be there forever. And we will start posting other Discords that you guys can jump into. Movie nights, man, oh man, movie nights, okay? That's what I look forward to now on Fridays, because I get my popcorn ready. I have like the cornels that I actually have to heat up and pop. So we have movie nights, and sometimes I have popcorn. I'm sorry, ice cream. So I'm like really trying to have that experience, right? And so she does movie nights, and she will stream it into Discord from her Oculus, right? And sometimes we do like, what is it, the party line or whatever they call it, the family. What is the movie thing?
The watch parties.
The watch party.
Yeah. The reason I do that, Yinka, is because that's part of how I feel like I've been in the metaverse forever, right? It's like, so movies have been here for a long time. So if you aren't exposed to kind of different genres of movies, you're not into sci-fi movies, you've been missing out. And so I want people to have that experience. Like we watched Tron, we watched iRobot, and Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, and how, like, when you first watch it, how many years, 5 years ago or so, like, all of this wasn't here, right? We weren't experiencing half of the things that they were introducing us to. But it's different when you watch it this time around. You learn to appreciate it, and you actually learn to realize, yo, that is possible. Like, and then you start to pick out which ones you want, right? I want that to be real. Yes. I mean, like that book having like your whole life, your memory become like a book or visual. I'm like, yo, that is freaking cool.
It is. So many concepts that we talk about are in there. And so I guess I want to end with saying, I run a business, and that business is called Technical Consulting. I do help individuals and businesses find their way into the metaverse. So every space isn't going to be for you, but there is one out there, I promise you. And it all starts with you understanding that decentralized journey. So if you'd like to schedule with me, you can go on a metaverse or a meta mind shift and jump into the verse with Blackverse. Metamindshift.com and blackverse.io are the ways that you can connect with me. And thank you guys for participating, and thank you for being here and for always being present. Love my audience comments there. See them all. You guys are great. I hope you had fun today. So this is Nicole, and my voice is resting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Nicole. Thank you very much. I hope all of y'all really appreciate the effort and the work that she has put into these Futuristic Fridays. Because, I had her staying up late at night stressing, sometimes trying to come up with these things. And sometimes it's free. She tried to look the other way. I see you, Nicole. But I'm just saying, but, for real. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, really, from the beginning to the end. You've been there, and even though she's not going to be on camera, maybe as much, but she still will be backstage up until the 31st. And Nicole is just that type of individual who will have your back, will do a lot of stuff to help out. Right? We may not always, agree on everything. But that's the beauty of it. You can have a real good conversation with a sister. And I thank you, and I do appreciate you, and I do consider you to be my sister. So thank you very much, Nicole, for everything you have put into this, your heart, your soul, your elbow, and everything else. Thank you.
Thank you, Yinka. Same to you. And wow, I'm not crying on this stage today, so we're gonna shut it down. You're not getting me back for that.
Okay. All right. Well, I could switch topic. I want y'all to join us tomorrow for Super Sponsor Saturday. We're still going. We're still going to the 31st. It does not end just because today is the last Friday. But we still have more information and events for you and women to grace our stages for you as well. We will have Super Sponsor Saturday, which I will focus on trying to educate you guys and instruct you on onboarding to these different metaverse NFT platforms, really. As well as we didn't get to touch on Phantom app, which is on the Solana. So I want to show you that app that you guys can use as a wallet as well. It's important for you guys to know that there's several different wallets out there, and we had a great segment on Monday where Naja exposed y'all to all the different wallets, whether it's an exchange, a hot wallet, or as she calls them, flaming hot wallets, all the way to the code wallets and even paper wallets. So there's several different wallets out there. You guys got that introduction. Now let's walk through onboarding you onto those wallets, and we would have other educational opportunities on Saturday as well. Sunday, we got our last self-care Sunday. Even though it's our last, it's definitely not the last time that you guys will hear tips about the self-care and mental health. That's very much important in the space, and you guys have to make sure that you tap in. We will have these replays available for you all to tap in, to maybe even go through some of the process and understand them. I think they have been very valuable. I know in particularly for myself, and I'm sure for most of you. Then we start all over again on Monday again, and Nigel will be back. We will have NF Tuesdays, where we will showcase more NFT artists in the space. Wednesdays, Worldwide Wednesdays, we will have more women in the space coming on board to introduce you to other things that you guys may not be aware of. And then finally, Thursday, We're going to wrap up the events that we've been working so hard and tirelessly to present to you guys. But you know what? It's not going to be the end. As I mentioned, we have our Discord. We're consistently going to cultivate that and make sure that you guys get an opportunity to interact with each other. And we'll come up with fun activities for you guys to participate in our Discord. Thank you all for joining us today. It has been a fantastic day. I mean, we got to giggle, we got to have some fun, we got to be exposed to a lot of things. And that's what we're here, doing, right? We're cultivating a community, cultivating networking, and cultivating friends, right, in this space. And we're building. And it's a great time to be alive. Our kids are involved in this. We as adults are involved in this, but we're actually trying to build something so that they could be proud of. I want y'all to tap in and continue to join us. Thank you, everyone, for joining the International Women of Blockchain. We will see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Yay. And don't forget to tap in for the AMA. We're going to start that, and we'll put details in Discord. Join us soon. And it's time to dance. But y'all ain't going to see it because we're going to be doing it behind the scenes. Bye.